오늘 오전 하나센터에서는 딕더빈 상원의원의 회견이 열렸습니다. 미 주요 언론을 비롯해 한인 인사들이 참석한 오늘 회견의 주제는 한국 사드 미사일 배치에 관한 한반도 안보 현안이었습니다. 저희 뉴스24에서는 오늘 회견을 특집으로 전해드리겠습니다.
오늘 오전 9시 빅더빈 상원의원이 참석한 가운데 사드 배치를 주제로 기자회견이 열렸습니다. 미 주요 언론과 시카고의 주요 한인 인사들이 참석한 가운데 회견이 진행되었습니다. 주요 현안들에 대한 더빈 의원의 간략한 브리핑으로 시작된 회견은 기자들과 함께 참여한 패널들의 질문에 대한 심도 있는 답변과 함께 마무리되었습니다. 오늘 회견에 있었던 더빈 상원의원의 인터뷰를 보여드리도록 하겠습니다.
New president in Korea, and I wanted to meet him and talk to him about some of the issues that were extremely important between our two nations. Now, let me tell you, things have happened this year, which I've never seen before in Washington, and I've been there for a few years. This year, the President of the United States called together all of the members of Congress, 100 senators and all of the members of the House, to have a special, closed, private meeting about Korea. So 100 senators went down to the White House to meet with President Trump, Vice President Pence, the Secretary of Defense, Mattis, Secretary of State, Tillerson, the head of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, the head of the intelligence agencies, to discuss what was going on in Korea. The reason was fairly obvious. Kim Jong-un has been engaged in missile testing, which worries us very much. We believe that he is quickly developing the capacity to deliver a nuclear warhead by ballistic missile, a threat not only to South Korea, obviously, but also to Japan, as well as to the United States, to Guam, to Hawaii, and to the United States. And so the purpose of our briefing with the President and his cabinet members was to talk about what we are doing to try to stop him. And the effort involves a lot of military effort, but it also involves working with China. China is a critical element, critical partner in this effort. 90% of all of the exports from North Korea go into China. So if China decides not to accept North Korean coal, which they did for a period of time, it would have an immediate impact on the economy of North Korea. You know better than anyone that the situation in North Korea is very grim and horrible for the people who are living there. They're going through great deprivation, not only of material things, food and clothing and shelter, but also of freedom. They are under the control of this dictator, and they lead lives which are sad and heartbreaking when you hear their stories of what they're going through. So we're in a tough position. We want to put pressure on North Korea to stop developing nuclear weapons, but we don't want to do it at the expense of the people living in North Korea. That is a hard thing to do. They have a very small economy in comparison to South Korea, certainly in comparison to the United States. But we believe if we put pressure on Kim Jong-un, he may have second thoughts about continuing to develop these missiles. I will tell you, there are several things I'll tell you. One of them is worrisome to me, but the others are very positive. First, we, in our meetings, renewed our commitment that the United States and the Republic of Korea would continue to work together, and we do. You may know that the major U.S. military installation in South Korea is a new Camp Humphreys. And Camp Humphreys is about 20 minutes by helicopter south of Seoul. And we are moving all of our, virtually all of our military from Seoul into Camp Humphreys. I toured Camp Humphreys. It is massive. It is the second largest U.S. military base outside of the United States. And we have 26,000 or 28,500 American troops in the Republic of Korea, and this will be basically their base of operations. The Republic of Korea paid for Camp Humphreys, 92% of it, to move the U.S. forces into this new location. So it's a cooperative effort. and that cooperation is appreciated and is working on a daily basis. We are turning over all of our land within the city of Seoul back to the Korean government, and they are going to develop it into parks and things that they think will help the quality of life of people who live in that city. But we have a very close relationship with the Republic of Korea when it comes to their national defense. We have one issue that I want to address very honestly with you, very openly with you, that I'm worried about, and that is the issue of the THAAD missile defense system. You've probably heard about Patriot missiles. These are defensive missiles. In other words, if you shoot a missile at me and I own a Patriot missile, I can launch that missile and explode your missile before it hurts me. So it's a defensive missile. It is not a missile that we are launching into any other place. It is there to stop incoming missiles. That is the nature of Patriots and the nature of the THAAD missile defense. We have a lot of different defensive missiles that we are working with Korea on, the Aegis missile and others. They are all designed to be defensive missiles. So 2 years ago, we started a negotiation to bring to South Korea, Republic of Korea, this new modern missile defense system known as the THAAD missile defense system. Each one of these THAAD launchers has 6 launchers to it. And so we have put in place 2 of those launchers. And then the issue became very controversial in South Korea during the course of this campaign, the last presidential campaign. Mr. Chung said to me that he thought the people of Republic of Korea were split even as to whether they wanted this missile defense system. I don't understand that. If I lived in South Korea, in the Republic of Korea, I would want every missile defense system we could get our hands on. And for the record, although the Republic of Korea is paying for the real estate, the land where this missile defense system is, the people of the United States are paying for the missile defense system. $923 million. Our taxpayers' dollars being spent to go into this THAAD missile defense system. The new government has said we're not sure we want it. I don't understand that. They are now going through 2 different levels of decision making. The first, answer any environmental questions, comply with all of Korea's environmental laws. I've talked to our military, General Brooks, General Vandal, and they have all said we're going to follow the letter of the law, whatever it is, on the environmental compliance. We're going to make sure whatever we do meets the laws of Korea, no question. But then President Moon said they want to debate in the National Assembly as to whether or not to accept the THAAD missile defense system. I said to the President, we have budget problems in the United States. We don't have enough money for the things that we want to do for our people in the United States. If you are telling me that you don't want $923 million missile system, okay, we'll spend the money in the United States. We have things to spend it on. I think it's a good investment for the Republic of Korea, and I hope that you do too. But they've suspended the THAAD missile defense system for the time being. And again, I am totally puzzled by that. Now, there was one statement made by the President and Mr. Chung, which I want to make a comment on. They said, we believe you're putting this THAAD missile defense system in to defend and make safe your own troops in the Republic of Korea. And if you look where it's being placed, south of Seoul, nearer to this Camp Humphreys, you can understand why they would say that. But I would like to ask a basic question. What is wrong with that? These troops are in Korea to protect Korea. They are risking their lives for the future of the Republic of Korea. So why wouldn't we want to create a missile defense for our own troops who are in Korea, trying to keep it safe, as well as the people who live near them? That, to me, I think is consistent. So we have this one issue. It has been complicated by some of the tweets of President Trump. President Trump sent out a tweet, and he sends a lot of them, and he said, why doesn't the Republic of Korea pay $1 billion for the whole system? Why are we paying for this? So President Moon said, we're not sure now. what our obligation, financial obligation, is going to be in the future. So that one remaining issue is unresolved. I am worried and troubled over it, but the basic friendship and alliance between the United States and Republic of Korea is strong. Our agreement with the Republic of Korea is that the United States will pay for the missile system and pay for the operation of the missile system. The Korean government is providing the real estate that we need for it, and that is all. That was the nature of the agreement. I don't understand where the president's tweet came from. It is not part of the agreement and should not be. Let us keep to the original understanding, the original agreement. But the Republic of Korea, under the new president, has to decide they want to go forward with this. I don't believe we can or should force this on them. I think it is important for their defense and for the defense of our troops. And if we don't have that defense, then sadly, the Republic of Korea is going to be more vulnerable to Kim Jong-un. North Korea and their threats not only to South Korea and Japan, but beyond. So we have an interest in the United States to stop North Korea from developing intercontinental ballistic missiles that can deliver nuclear warheads. I mean, that's a reality. We will work this out. THAAD missile defense, we will work out before it's all over. And I asked the president what he thought about the due process, the National Assembly, and he said I wouldn't conclude that we're going to stop it. We are just going to debate it. We are going to understand it, and then we're going to reach a decision. So I am hopeful that when it's all over, we will have even stronger relationship with the Republic of Korea. Problem today relates to the fact that this decision was made 2 years ago by the previous administration, previous president. It was a military-to-military decision, and it did not involve any approval by the National Assembly in the Republic of Korea. And so many people think, as the President Moon said to me, we should have due process. We should debate this. I don't object to that. I hope they conclude that they want to go forward. Mission of Seoul, does anyone know? 10 million? How far is Seoul from the DMC? 35 miles. How long have the North Koreans had artillery in place pointed at Seoul? 30 years. How many people would die in the first day or two if we had an active war with North Korea? How many people in South Korea would die? Hundreds of thousands. So the notion that we are going to win this militarily, we have the capacity to destroy North Korea and all the people in it. But that is no solution. That is not what we want to see. Our goal is to remove all nuclear weapons from the Korean Peninsula, all, in North Korea and in South Korea. He has not been president for 1 month yet, or pretty close, so I want to give him a chance to lead, to make it clear what his positions are. We had a very positive and friendly meeting, and I'm looking forward to a good, strong relationship with him. So in fairness, I want to give him his chance to explain where he stands in his future.
한국에서 문재인 대통령과 회담을 가졌던 빅더빈 의원은 오늘 시카고에서 열린 회견에서 사드 배치의 중요성에 대해 강조하며 이에 대해 애매모호한 태도를 취하는 문재인 정부를 이해하지 못하겠다는 반응을 보였습니다. 윈TV 뉴스 스티븐 김입니다.